sonnet number 51. Thus can my love excuse the slow offense of my dull bearer when from thee I speed. From where thou art, why should I haste me thence? Till I return, of posting is no need. Oh, what excuse will my poor beast then find, when swift extremity can seem but slow? Then should I spur, though mounted on the wind, in winged speed no motion shall I know. Then can no horse with my desire keep pace. Therefore desire, of perfect love being made, shall neigh, no dull flesh in his fiery race. But love, for love, that shall excuse my jade. Since from thee going he went wilful slow, towards thee I'll run and give him leave to go.
Hello.
Hello.
Less than 5 minutes of preparation. Are we ready?
You better tell us before you go to school.
Okay, so I am going to California to attend the American Academy of Dramatic Arts. Yes, I'll also be in Burning Coal's Oakwood Cemetery shows. Those are May 18th, something like that. So, okay, that's my minute of famous self-promotion. This is sonnet 52. So am I as the rich, whose blessed key can bring him to his sweet up-locked treasure, the which he will not every hour survey, for blunting the fine point of seldom pleasure. Therefore are feasts so solemn and so rare, since seldom coming in the long year set, like stones of worth they thinly placed are, or captain jewels in their carcanet. So is the time that keeps you as my chest, or as the wardrobe which the robe doth hide, to make some special instant special blessed, by new unfolding his imprisoned pride. Blessed are you, whose worthiness gives scope, being had, to triumph, being lacked, to hope.
Hi, I'm Mary Rowland. I'm reading sonnet number 53, and this is a sonnet that is based on the idea of Plato's cave, where there is the reality of something, and our world is composed simply of the shadows that are cast by the fire in the cave. And so that's all that we see, rather than the real thing. And this kind of brings that into play. He uses that shadow thing a lot in his sonnets, but what is your substance? Whereof are you made, that millions of strange shadows on you tend? Since everyone hath, everyone, one shade, and you, but one, can every shadow lend. Describe Adonis, and the counterfeit is poorly imitated after you. On Helen's cheek, all art of beauty set, and you, in Grecian tires, are painted new. Speak of the spring, and foison of the year. The one doth shadow of your beauty show, the other as your bounty doth appear. And you, in every blessed shape we know, in all external grace you have some part. But you, like none, none you, for constant heart.
Hi, my name's Salinda Tyson. I'm doing sonnet 54. Oh, how much more doth beauty beauteous seem, by that sweet ornament which truth doth give. The rose looks fair, but fairer we it deem for that sweet odor which doth in it live. The canker blooms have full as deep a dye as the perfumed tincture of the roses, hang on such thorns, and play as wantonly when summer's breath their masked buds discloses. But for their virtue only is their show. They live, unwooed and unrespected fade, die to themselves. Sweet roses do not so. Of their sweet deaths are sweetest odors made. And so of you, beauteous and lovely youth, when that shall fade, my verse distills your truth.
My name is Garrison, and I taught high school for many years. And after we did this poem, I'm doing 55, I would ask my students if Shakespeare made good on his boast, if they thought. Not marble, nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. But you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time. When wasteful war shall statues overturn and broils root out the work of masonry, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. Against death and all oblivious enmity shall you pace forth. Your praise shall still find room even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. So till the judgment, let yourself arise. You live in this and dwell in lovers' eyes.
Hello, I am Mitch Buynitzky. You have seen my mom perform, along with my brother, and Miss Bejan, she was my World Civ professor last semester, so she's also an incredible teacher.
But what y'all don't know is that Mitch read 3 years ago?
Yes.
In our original Fairest Creatures, when we thought it was only going to be a one-time thing. Please continue.
So in Sonnet 56, one of the important themes is the beauty that Shakespeare finds in love and kind of connects that beauty with nature, I would say, is what I kind of took of an opinion of. And I find this really important to me personally, just because currently I see all the time in our news and everywhere is just like hate and bad news. And I think it's important to see like what the power of love can do and how it can spread through everything. And my school when I was in high school, Sanderson, did a one act that actually got to go to SCTC about how after the Sandy Hook Elementary shooting, all the parents of the kids of the survivors figured out that the best way to solve the problem of like this scary, terrible thing that happened to the community was to like just do good deeds and spread love. And I think that's something really important to take away from that and this. So Sonnet 56. Sweet love, renew thy force. Be it not said, thy edge should blunter be than appetite, which but today by feeding is allayed, tomorrow sharpened in his former might. So love be thou, although today thou fill thy hungry eyes, even till they wink with fullness. Tomorrow see again, and do not kill the spirit of love with a perpetual dullness. Let this sad interim, like the ocean, be which parts the shore where the two contracted new come daily to the banks, that when they see the return of love, more blessed may be the view, as called winter, which being full of care, makes summer's welcome thrice more wished, more rare. Thank you.
I'm Nan Stephenson, and I'm an actor and director and have taught every age from 5 to 80. So Shakespeare I've done a lot. The sonnets I think are sometimes not quite so character driven, so I think I may try one. Sonnet 57. Being your slave, what should I do but tend upon the hours and times of your desire? I have no precious time at all to spend, nor services to do till you require. Nor dare I chide the world without end hour, whilst I, my sovereign, watch the clock for you, nor think the bitterness of an absent sour, when you have bid your servant once adieu. Nor dare I question with my jealous thought where you may be and your affairs suppose, but like a sad slave sit and think of naught save where you are, how happy you make those. So true a fool is love, that in your will, though you do anything, he thinks you no ill.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joyce Munrol, and I'm going to be reading sonnet number 58. No real introduction, just here just to be here. That God forbid that made me first your slave, I should in thought control your times of pleasure, or at your hand the account of hours to crave, being your vassal bound to stay your leisure. Oh, let me suffer, being at your beck, the imprisoned absence of your liberty, and patience, tamed to sufferance, bide each check, without accusing you of injury. Be where you list, your charter is so strong, that you yourself may privilege your time to what you will, to you it doth belong, yourself to pardon of self-doing crime. I am to wait, though waiting so be hell, not blame your pleasure, be it ill or well.
My name is Eric Weil, and I've been hearing lots of plugs tonight, so I'm going to put in a plug for the NC 10x10, which is coming up in July in Cary and in Carrboro. And the person reading Sonnet 59 has a play in that production. It's a parody of Shakespeare's contemporaries, Cervantes' Don Quixote.
Oh my goodness. You see that fella up there in the lights? Robbie?
No, but
He will be playing Sancho.
excellent.
And there's some fellow over here, and we don't know who, will be playing Don Quixote. And this gentleman wrote it, and we're going to do our best.
I'm sure you will. Sonnet 59. If there be nothing new but that which is hath been before, how are our brains beguiled, which, laboring for invention, bear amiss the second burden of a former child? Oh, that record could with a backward look, even of 500 courses of the sun, show me your image in some antique book, since mine at first in character was done. that I might see what the old world could say to this composed wonder of your frame, whether we are mended, or whether better they, or whether revolution be the same. Oh, sure I am the wits of former days to subjects worse have given admiring praise.
Hi y'all, I'm John Mace. I don't write plays, but I narrate audiobooks, so yeah. And I studied Shakespeare in London and Oxford, so. All right. This is Sonnet 60, and it's about the circle of life. Like as the waves make towards the pebbled shore, so do our minutes hasten to their end. Each changing place with that which goes before. Its sequent toil all forwards do contend. Nativity, once in the main of light, crawls to maturity, wherewith being crowned, crooked eclipse gainst his glory fight. And time that gave doth now his gift confound. Time doth transfix the flourish set on youth, and delves the parallels in beauty's brow, feeds on the rarities of nature's truth, and nothing stands but for his scythe to mow. And yet, to times in hope, my verse shall stand, praising thy worth despite his cruel hand.
Hi, I'm Ken Walsh, and last year I came out and did a sonnet about unrequited love. And that was fun to do last year. But it's one of the later ones, and shared it with the object of my affections when the videotape came out, and she got jealous. Just took about 9 months later, 10 months later, in 2019, I found that out. So tonight, I'm going to be reading to you Sonnet 61, one of the sonnets, Shakespeare's sonnets about jealousy. Is it thy will, thy image, should keep open my heavy eyelids to the weary night? Dost thou desire my slumbers should be broken, while shadows like to thee do mock my sight? Is it thy spirit that thou send'st from thee, so far from home into my deeds to pry, to find out shames and idle hours in me, the scope and tenor of thy jealousy? Oh no, thy love, though much, is not so great. It is my love that keeps mine eye awake, mine own true love that doth my rest defeat, to play the watchman ever for thy sake. For thee watch I, whilst thou dost wake elsewhere, from me far off, while others all too near.
Wow, these lights are bright.
Hopefully the train won't run tonight.
I think it ran already, so. This sonnet was about vanity. I'm very fond of this sonnet because I'm very vain. And I picked it for that reason because I was like, oh man, I relate to this. But then I realized, I was reading it and reading about it, and I realized that the poet, very clever man, he's actually excusing his vanity by saying, because he and his lover are one, that when he praises himself, he's actually praising his lover. So, by all means, he can praise himself. But actually, he's like an ugly old git who's like ancient and not as good looking as a young man. So, he's saying, when he looks and the first bit is like, he's praising himself extensively. And then he looks in the mirror and he's like, oh man, I look terrible. And then he says, well, because I'm one with my lover, I'm actually praising my lover. So. And any musicians among you? A few? You might appreciate the fact that I went to the trouble to put this song in 5'4" or 5'8", I'm not sure which, as a nod to the fact that it's in pentameter. I hope you appreciate it because it was hard. And I wrote it yesterday because I put things off to the last minute. Here we go, Sonnet 62.
Once or twice a year, I approve out here with nothing worth saying. But I did want to tell you that Melenchi has been part of our Fairest Creatures for, this is her 4th year, and this is the 4th year that it's existed. Her father and sister are up here with us tonight, and we're glad to have that, and allow us to continue.
I'm Amy, and I'm reading Sonnet 63, and it's about aging, and I think I'm getting more familiar with that every day, as most of us are. Against my love shall be, as I am now, with time's injurious hand crushed and o'erworn, when hours have drained his blood and filled his brow with lines and wrinkles, when his youthful morn hath traveled on to age's steepy night, and all those beauties, whereof now he's king, are vanishing or vanished out of sight, stealing away the treasure of his spring. For such a time do I now fortify against confounding age's cruel knife, that he shall never cut from memory my sweet love's beauty, though my lover's life. His beauties shall in these black lines be seen, and he in them. They shall live still green. Kind of twisted that up.
I'm Carolyn Currie, and I have sonnet 64. I find with all of these sonnets, especially the later, gloomier ones, the older I get, the more they resonate. When I have seen, by time's fell hand, deface the rich, proud cost of outworn, buried age, when sometime lofty towers I see down raised, and brass eternal, slave to mortal rage, when I've seen the hungry ocean gain advantage on the kingdom of the shore, and the firm soil of the wind of the watery main, increasing store with loss, and loss with store. When I have seen such interchange of state, or state itself confounded to decay, ruin hath taught me thus to ruminate, that time will come and take my love away. This thought is as a death which cannot choose but weep, to have that which it fears to lose.
Hello, my name is Vaughn Greene. It's a pleasure to be with you all tonight. I love live entertainment. I'm in a group called Toastmasters. Has anybody heard of that? It's for public speaking. Half of them are corporate, but half are open to everybody. I'm working on a project to help with promotion of live drama productions. And understand that I spend a couple of hours a week looking the internet for shows, but I found out of about 6 of them that I had not heard of today. So I'm happy to hear about Les Mis and King Lear and Harvey and several other shows. I'm doing Sonnet 65. I'd like to dedicate this to my son Carson, who turned 21 today. Aww. Maybe he'll see a play sometime. Since brass, nor stone, nor earth, nor boundless sea, but sad mortality o'ersways their power, how with this rage shall beauty hold a plea, whose action is no stronger than a flower? Oh, how shall summer's honey breath hold out against the wreckful siege of battering days, when rocks impregnable are not so stout, nor gates of steel so strong but time decays? O fearful meditation, where alack shall time's best jewel from time's chest lie hid? Or what strong hand can hold his swift foot back? Or who his spoil of beauty can forbid? Oh, none, unless this miracle have might, that in black ink my love may still shine bright.
Hi, I'm Kelli Buynitzky. I am the mom of the fabulous Buynitzky boys, who you have seen earlier this evening. I also read earlier. See how this one goes. Sonnet 66. Tired with all these for restful death I cry, as to behold desert a beggar born, and needing nothing trimmed in jollity. Purest faith unhappily forsworn, and gilded honor shamefully misplaced, and maiden virtue rudely trumpeted, and right perfection wrongfully disgraced, and strength by limping sway disabled, and art made tongue-tied by authority, and folly doctor-like controlling skill, and simple truth miscalled simplicity, and captive good attending captain ill. tired with all these. From these I would be gone, save that to die. I leave my love alone. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm John, and this is Sonnet 67. Wherefore with infection should he live, and with his presence great impiety, that sin by him advantage should achieve and lace itself with his society. Why should false painting imitate his cheek and steal the dead seeing of his living hue? Why should poor beauty indirectly seek roses of shadow, since his rose is true? Why should he live, now nature bankrupt is, beggared of blood to blush through lively veins? For she hath no exchequer now, but his, and proud of many lives upon his gains. Oh, him she stores to show what wealth she had in days long since, before these last so bad.
And so, I've been withholding information all night, but you guys just stop. You guys need to know that Wayne came here just planning to listen. And
That never
Jennifer,
happens.
who was over there a couple seats over from him, said, no, you have to read. And so, here's Wayne.
There was a please in there.
So after extensive research from 8:30 on from tonight on, the synopsis I got is cosmetics suck, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently he had an issue with cosmetics. I'm not a woman. I don't have that issue, but he apparently did. He had an issue with that. He I guess didn't want it hid the true person. Anyway. Shameless plug, I have absolutely nothing going on. I used to be a community theater actor. My employer changed my hours to weeknights. So I cannot do theater anymore. This is my one moment of glory for 2019. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. If I over embellish, this is my one moment of time. You'll just have to just get over the lousy acting.
Anymore. This is right now.
It's temporarily. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Okay. All right. Without further much ado about nothing. Sonnet number 68. Thus is as cheap the map of days outworn, when beauty lived and died as flowers do now. Before the bastard signs of fair were born, nor durst inhabit on the living brow. Before the golden tresses of the dead, the righteous sepulchres were shorn away, to live a second life on second head. Ere beauty's dead fleece made another gay. In him those holy antique hours are seen, without all ornament, itself and true, making no summer of another's green, robbing no old to dress his beauty new. And him as for a map doth nature store, to show false art what's beauty was of yore. I was going to preface it by saying I'm not an actor. That's the very first thing I was going to say. And I wish I had a violin back here to play this because I really like this sonnet. This is about authenticity. To be rather than to seem, which is the state motto, came to me while I was thinking about the sonnet. Sonnet 69. Those parts of thee that the world's eye doth view want nothing that the thought of hearts can mend. All tongues, the voice of souls, give thee that due, uttering bare truth, even so as foes commend. Thy outward thus with outward praise is crowned, but those same tongues that give thee so thine own and other accents do this praise confound, by seeing farther than the eye hath shown. They look into the beauty of thy mind, and that in guess they measure by thy deeds. Then churls their thoughts, although their eyes were kind. To thy fair flower add the rank smell of weeds. But why thy odor matches not thy show? The solve is this, that thou dost common grow.
Oh my goodness. You know what, you friends and neighbors? This is showing that I'm supposed to read this one. Due to the fact that somebody couldn't make it here. Therefore, I shall take a look at it. Be aware, friends and neighbors, I have no idea which number this is. Hi, my name is Comet. My name is Comet. Let me try it again. My name is Kurt Semerdy. My name is Kurt Benrud. This is sonnet number 70. Thou art blamed, shall not be thy deficit, for thou slander's mark was ever yet the fair. The abhorrency of banish is thy beauties, a crow's that flies in famine's sweetest fare. Be thou good, slander doth but approve, thy worth the greater being wooed but time. For canker thus the sweetest buds doth love, and thou presentest a pure unsustaineth prune. Thou hast passed by the vamish of youngest days, either not availed or victor being churched. Yet this thy praise cannot be so thy praise, to tie up envy evermore enlarged. If some suspect of ill mask thou not show, then thou alone kingdoms of hearts shouldst approve.
Hi all, I'm Riley, my pronouns are they, them, and this is sonnet 71, and I was supposed to be ushering, and I did a bad job with that, and I apologize.
No, you did a great job.
And now I read this gay and spiteful poem here. No longer mourn for me when I am dead, then you shall hear the surly sullen bell give warning to the world that I am fled from this vile world, with vilest worms to dwell. Nay, if you read this line, remember not the hand that writ it, for I love you so that I and your sweet thoughts would be forgot, if thinking on me then should make you woe. Oh, if, I say, you look upon this verse when I perhaps compounded am with clay, do not so much as my poor name rehearse, but let your love even with my life decay. lest the wise world should look into your moan and mock you with me after I am gone.
It is worth sharing that Riley originally said, "I just want to be a front of the house volunteer," but was able to be strong-armed into reading.
It's also worth noting that Kurt is a master at recruitment.
And it is also worth noticing that this person here is in a show at North Raleigh
Arts and Creative Theater.
Yeah,
Interact.
You tell all of us.
I am currently doing Church and State at Interact. We just finished our opening weekend, and we have 2 more to go.
And everybody needs to attend. Because I did, and you want to be like all the cool people.
True. Everybody wants to be like her. I will be reading sonnet number 72, which is actually the counterpart to 71 that was just read. Oh, lest the world should task you to recite what merit lived in me, that you should love after my death. Dear love, forget me quite. For you in me can nothing worthy prove, unless you would devise some virtuous lie to do more for me than mine own desert, and hang more praise upon deceased eye than niggard truth would willingly impart. Oh, lest your true love may seem false in this, that you, for love, speak well of me untrue. My name be buried where my body is, and live no more to shame nor me, nor you. For I am shamed by that which I bring forth, and so should you, to love things nothing worth.
Now, most of y'all might know Jennifer from being the chick with the clipboard in the lobby. Okay? But what y'all need to know is that everything that I ever do, she's right there to assist.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Jennifer Greene. My only introduction is always, I'm just glad to be here. Thank you for allowing me to be here for the 2nd year in a row. I would just like to say, go Canes!
They did.
I mean, sonnet 73. So this is one where the first 3 stanzas seem almost depressing and putting the person down, and then it takes a nice kind of twist at the end of it. So it's very, very interesting sonnet. And here we go, sonnet 73. That time of year thou mayst in me behold, when yellow leaves, or none, or few, do hang upon those boughs which shake against the cold, bare ruined choirs where late the sweet birds sang. In me thou seest the twilight of such day as after sunset fadeth in the west, which by and by black night doth take away, death's second self that seals up all in rest. In me thou seest the glowing of such fire that on the ashes of his youth doth lie, as the deathbed whereon it must expire, consumed with that which it was nourished by. This thou perceivest, which makes thy love more strong, to love that well which thou must leave ere long.
But be contented. When that fell arrest without all bail shall carry me away, my life hath in this line some purpose, which for memorial with thee shall stay. When thou reviewest this, thou dost review the very part was consecrate to thee. The earth can have but earth, as 'tis his due. My spirit is thine, the better part of me. So then thou hast but lost the dregs of life, the prey of worms, my body being dead, the coward conquest of some wretch's knife, too base of thee to be remembered. The worth of that is that which it contains, and that is this, and this with thee remains.
Whoa!
That's sonnet 74, and I just want to say I really appreciate being around a bunch of like freaking nerds.
The important information to share here is that Colleen, and she chose not to tell her name at the beginning, but Colleen was a reader 3 years ago, the first year we did this, and thought it was going to be the only year. Thank you for coming back.
I'm Andrew, and I will be doing sonnet number 75. So are you to my thoughts as food to life, or as sweet season showers are to the ground. And for the peace of you I hold such strife, as twixt a miser and his wealth is found. Now proud as an enjoyer, and anon, doubting the filching age will still his treasure. Now counting best to be with you alone, then bettered that the world may see my pleasure. Sometime I'll full with feasting on your sight, and by clean starved for a look, possessing or pursuing no delight, save what is had or must from you be took. Thus do I pine or surfeit day by day, or gluttoning on all, or all away.
I want to thank all of you for staying to the bitter end. Very nice of you. My name is Fred Corlett, and I'll be reading Sonnet 76 by William Shakespeare.
And it is worth establishing that Fred is my
Oh, for
twin
God's
brother.
sake. Can we just let him do his thing? Timing here.
We're timing with music here.
Mr. Corlett.
In the Baroque music era, many composers used a technique called theme and variation, where a single musical phrase could go through several renderings, but the listener would continue to hear the same musical theme throughout. Sonnet 76 is an homage to this technique, which you are hearing right now in Pachelbel's Canon in D major. Why is my verse so barren of new pride, so far from variation or quick change? Why with the time do I not glance aside to newfound methods and to compounds strange? Why write I still all one, ever the same, and keep invention in a noted weed, that every word doth almost tell my name, showing their birth and where they did proceed? Oh, no, sweet love, I always write of you, and you and love are still my argument. So all my best is dressing old words new, spending again what is already spent. For as the sun is daily new and old, so is my love still telling what is told.
And y'all that weren't here a couple of hours ago need to be told, this is my sister, the Reverend Edith Benrud Roberts, who spent 9 hours.
11.
That's why there thou says, 11 hours driving down here.
Probably feels like 15 right now.
So only take 3 to get back. She can join us and get up at 5:30 tomorrow morning in order that she might head back to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Please.
Oh, thank
help
you.
us out.
Yes, I'm Edith Benrud Roberts, and yes, I did drive 11 hours to get here. So I'm really glad I get to read 2 now. It makes it all I'm the bookend of the evening, but I also wanted to say how much I appreciate all of your work. It was wonderful. I'm really glad I was able to be here. I'd hoped to be here both nights, but I have to be back for something on Tuesday. So, I just read this tonight. I was an English, dramatic art, and French major in college, so I probably read this a long time ago, but I didn't know when I took it. It's about aging, which we've had a couple others. This year I'm celebrating my 40th anniversary of ordination as a Lutheran pastor, and next year my husband and I are celebrating our 50th anniversary of marriage. Aging. So, this will be the last of the evening, Sonnet 77. Thy glass will show thee how thy beauties wear, thy dial how thy precious minutes waste. The vacant leaves thy mind's imprint will bear, and of this book, this learning mayst thou taste. The wrinkles which thy glass will truly show, of mouthed graves will give thee memory. Thou by thy dial's shady stealth mayest know time's thievish progress to eternity. Look, what thy memory cannot contain, commit to these waste blanks, and thou shalt find those children nursed, delivered from thy brain, to take a new acquaintance of thy mind. These offices, so oft as thou wilt look, shall profit thee and much enrich thy book.
So, back in the 1970s, I became aware that my sister was double majoring in theater and English and French. Well, wait a minute, that's triple. Okay. And I was majoring in chemistry. Well, thank you for joining the party tonight. Anyway, let's do a couple of really quick checks on the raffles tonight. Can you help us out here? Since she not only read a sonnet, she also brought two sons to help us out. Please, pull one here. Okay. This takes longer every time. And it appears we have begins in numbers 096. Is somebody named Van Garrison still with us here tonight? Where is Van Garrison? Please come on down. You have won a couple of tickets to Theater in the Parks.
Yeah.
This will be the showing of Dracula. Now notice that I wasn't smart enough to put the TIP in the right-hand area where she could reuse the envelope. Oh well.
I can put it. Yeah.
Can you handle it?
Yeah, return address.
Super. All right. How about a hand for her? And this was totally unexpected. We have certificate entitles the winner to 2 tickets of Theater Raleigh 2019 Summer Series Show from Theater Raleigh, which I didn't expect. So this is an extra here. And just because I think I'm good enough to pull one out. Oh dear me. Let me change glasses. I'm so sorry. Do it right here. Okay, this would be well, let's get the ticket number. 4010 at the end. Anybody here with 4010?
Jump up, George.
I'm sorry, I'm unable to discern the name of the person.
You can't read it. Jump up, quick.
Seriously.
You can
Jump
pretend.
up and say, yeah, fine, all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Barbara? Deceased?
She left.
She left, all right, so
Well,
she left.
Barbara Dunn left, so she lost her chance at that. Yeah, and we'll get somebody else here. What do you got here?
No, that's the same one.
Oh,
Pick it.
Jennifer's looking after me, I'm sorry. George Robertson, are you still here tonight? No, he left already.
George Russing. There's George
George Robertson.
Another George.
It's GR, close.
Candace left already because she gave me a hug before she left. Okay, Felix and Adizu.
That's my student's.
I'm sorry? I'm
Oh,
sorry?
well, definitely she could.
Come on
Yes.
down, come on down. This is an auction winner for the 2 tickets to Theater Raleigh Summer Series Show. Now, you don't have to give that to them.
I will.
You can pretend, and I'll never know the difference. Okay, thank you everybody for coming on down tonight. And keep in member, we're doing it again next year. Think of the sonnet that you want, all right? See you later.
Tomorrow, too, huh?
Oh, also tomorrow, but of course.